everyone, I'm Yogini Moodley. I'm really sorry about the delay. I was unable to connect my laptop. This is my first time up here on this side of the stage, and it's a little bit scary, but also very, very exciting. And I'm really happy to be here to share my story with you. I've taken inspiration from Sam, and I've hand-drawn my slides. I hope you can understand it. There's a lot of love in them, and yeah, so this is my talk. I'm a Scrum Master at ABSA. I work in the Agile transformation space, and I'm really passionate about learning and sharing, and that's basically why I'm here today. I'm going to try and stand on this side so that you can see me. I have height issues. So I was born in the 80s to two teachers in a little town in KZN. I worked really hard, I studied a lot, I read, I went to the library. I did really well. I was a straight A student. How could I not be with my parents being teachers? I had access to the internet when most of my classmates didn't have computers. I even had this really cool CD. I'm not sure if any of you remember it. In Carter 95, I was still using it in 2000. So that was me then. I have a much younger brother, Iraven. He's the one with the spiky hair. He learns very differently to me. He used the computer a lot more than the rest of us. He watched videos online. He learned how to play the guitar watching YouTube videos when I would go for music lessons. I would use a dictionary to look up meanings of words. He would Google Translate. This was really frustrating. I put in so much more effort and dedication, and he did things so much quicker. I thought he was lazy. My parents encouraged my way of learning. That was all they knew then. They would tell him to be more like me, to read books, go to university, study, stop watching so many videos online. Reflecting on this, I realized that his way was not wrong, and my way was not right, nor the only way. Learning is not about classrooms and teachers. It doesn't just happen when you're studying for a degree. Learning is something so much more organic than that. It happens all the time in so many different ways. It's when you're reading, when you're discussing, when you're talking to people, there's so many different ways to learn. Learning is everything that we've become and everything that we do. Learning about learning has since opened up so many more possibilities for me and ignited such a passion. This really was a turning point in my life. Learning all these things made me want to go back and change the world. As I was learning these things, I wanted to transform my organization. I want to share this passion with the rest of the people I worked with. I wanted to know more about learning and creating a learning culture. I went on to researching online, following people on Twitter, contacting research organizations abroad, and learning as much as I could about learning. This transformed me, and as I transformed, I wanted to transform those around me, particularly my organization. I was up in arms in this passion, wanting to help others. I was knocking on the door of HR, trying to get my voice heard, and sharing the things that I learned. I was inflicting help and stuff that I just wanted to share. It took me some time to step back and think about it, and a colleague mentioned to me, start where you are. And this got me thinking, where am I right now? I'm a Scrum Master in one of the biggest banks in South Africa. What can I do with that? Who could I influence? Being a Scrum Master is a very influential role. I formed a Scrum Master community where I got in touch with other Scrum Masters going on a similar journey. We met twice a month for an hour to discuss and share what worked for us, what didn't work so well, and new things that we'd like to try out. I then went on to start Agile coffee sessions. This is similar to lean coffee, but we call it Agile coffee in our organization, and this happens every Friday at 9 o'clock, whether I'm there or not. Community didn't depend on me. It was people who felt this passion and need to learn and share together. Turnout is not always great, but it's not about the numbers. It's about the conversation. Even if there's just 2 people that want to get together and discuss something, so much of learning happens, and that's where the real value is. And our communities internally in the organization have been growing tremendously. Now it's not just Fridays where we have Agile coffees, and it's not just me and my colleagues facilitating it. It's popping up across the organization at different times. And it's getting people together who wouldn't necessarily be together otherwise. And we've been learning so much and having so much of fun together. Transforming a huge organization like a bank is no easy task, but slowly and surely, with several committed individuals who are brave, take courage, believe, and act, our organization is transforming. As Margaret Mead said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. This brings me to some points I'd like to share on creating a learning culture. Give people time to think. Often it is not in the learning intervention, but the time afterwards when we assess, ask questions, and make it our own where true learning really happens. Knowledge sharing, similar to what I did with the Scrum Master community and Agile coffee sessions. Also, there's many communities locally. Join them, go see what it's like. If it doesn't work for you, just start your own community. I'm sure as you start sharing your need with others, you'll see there's many others with a similar need that want to share as well. Coaching and mentoring. The movement from managing to leadership and coaching has really changed the environment. With mentoring and reverse mentoring, experienced colleagues have vast knowledge to share, but new people bring a fresher, different perspective. Allowing for failure. Often, it's only when we fail that we reassess, readjust, and realign and try new ways to do things, and we come up with much better solutions. Innovation. A culture of innovation drives new thinking, and that springboards new ideas. As I started to learn in new ways, so too did my family and the people around me. My father, who was anti-learning on the internet, began to watch YouTube videos to fix plumbing leaks. My brother serviced his car using some YouTube videos and connecting with people on the internet. My mom, who is also a very old school teacher, researches online all the time. She's always searching for new recipes, for weight loss videos to share with me, and lots of exercise things. And as I shifted to this, the people around me shifted. And it's changed the way we do everyday things now. And I hope some of this resonates with you and you'd like to try something. If you could take the next minute or 2 to discuss with your neighbor something that you'd like to try for yourself or your organization in learning differently. questions? Yeah.
Everybody's used to just putting up your hand. If you want them to stop and you want to discuss it, let's just raise your hand.
I hope you found this quite useful. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask? Do you have any questions for me?
So I think I just want to share a story. That's just a personal story from. Is everyone hearing me? Not. Okay, so I think I want to share a personal story. So my niece is 5 years old, and she watches YouTube now to how to do makeup. And she does the makeup better than what I do it. So it just shows you how quickly they learn on YouTube and how much better it is to learn like that.
Yes.
Yeah, so I go there for makeup.
That's a lovely story. Because when we're in a classroom or in a class, there's usually one teacher. And when you go online, there's a variety of different teachers. And everyone teaches you different approaches. And you find one that resonates with you. I think we have time for one more question.
Okay, I have a question specifically for you, and if you had kids. So considering you're very pro different mediums of learning, would you be comfortable, say, in primary school, if the primary school teacher were to use YouTube videos and use, and then in high school maybe use TED Talks, and that be like the central focus of a lesson, as opposed to the teacher teaching the child one-on-one?
I have a 3-year-old. She loves learning from YouTube. I prefer using a variety of different mediums, and I'd stick with the one that works best for that person. So as a teacher, have a variety, and the student can decide what's best for them. I thought the classroom was best for me, and it was only much later that I started exploring different avenues, and it's been really beneficial. Okay. Before I go, I wanted to let you know that Faye Thompson and Ryan Ripley are giving a keynote tomorrow morning, and they'll be delving deeper into learning culture and discovering this for yourself. So please join them. It's going to be an awesome experience. If you want to get in touch. Thank you.